Modern History, Our Past. Chapter 2, From Trade to Territory. The Company Establishes Power. The English East India Company, EEIC. In 1600, the EEIC received a royal charter from Queen Elizabeth I to trade with the Eastern world. At this time, a diplomatic mission through Sir Thomas Roe was sent to the court of the Mughal Emperor Jahangir with the aim of securing permission to build trading posts in Surat and other areas. In 1615, the EEIC established its first trading factory in Surat after receiving a firman or a royal order from Jahangir. After the death of Aurangzeb in 1707 till 1750, however, a new power was emerging on the political horizon, the British. East India Company begins trade in Bengal. The first English factory was set up on the banks of the river Hooghly in 1651. This was the base from which the company traders, known at that time as factors, operated. The factory had a warehouse where goods for export were stored, and it had offices where company officials sat. Many European companies believed that they needed to establish a monopoly over the trade with India in order to maximize their profits. This brought them into conflict with each other. Their rivalry culminated in a series of trade wars. They played local rulers against each other to extend their influence as far as possible. The Battle of Plassey. In 1757, at Plassey, a place between Calcutta and Murshidabad, the military force of the EEIC under Robert Clive battled against the army of Siraj-ud-Dowlah, the Nawab of Bengal. The Nawab was defeated. Reasons of the battle? The Nawab of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Dowlah, protested against the British ways of trading. He asked the English to stop the extension of their fortification. As a result, the EEIC waged a war against the Nawab on 23rd June 1757. Result of the battle. The Battle of Plassey marked the first military success of the EEIC in our country. The Battle of Buxar. On 23rd October 1764, the EEIC started another war against the combined Indian armies of the Nawab of Bengal, Mir Qasim, the Nawab of Kutch, Shuja'ud-Dowlah, and the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. This war was called the Battle of Buxar. The British won the war, and this made the East India Company very powerful. The importance of the Battle of Buxar. After winning the battle, the English obtained the right to collect land revenue from Bihar, Orissa, and Bengal. The Anglo-Mysore Wars from 1766 to 1799. In the last 3 decades of the 18th century, the EEIC was engaged in a series of wars with the rulers of Mysore, Hyder Ali, and his son Tipu Sultan. While the initial conflicts ended in success for Mysore, eventually Hyder Ali was defeated by the British with the help of the Nizam of Hyderabad. Tipu Sultan was deeply suspicious of the British and waged 2 wars against them. In the Battle of Srirangapatnam in 1799, Tipu Sultan was defeated and killed. the kingdom of Mysore placed under a new ruler who was forced to be loyal to the British. The Anglo-Maratha Wars from 1775 to 1819. The Maratha and the EEIC fought 3 wars before the Maratha power finally crumbled. This was due to disunity among the ruling Maratha clans and their power struggles. The British interfered in the internal matters of the kingdom to their advantage. Eventually, under Lord Hastings, they dethroned the Peshwa and pensioned him off. The Peshwa's territories were annexed while the other clans signed the subsidiary alliance. Policies of the British to become powerful in our country. The British introduced many policies in our country and became very powerful. The divide and rule policy, the subsidiary alliance, and the doctrine of lapse. Setting up a new administration. Warren Hastings was one of the many important figures who played a significant role in expansion of company power. By this time, the company has acquired power not only in Bengal but also in Bombay and Madras. British territories were broadly divided into administrative units called presidencies. There were 3 presidencies: Bengal, Madras, and Bombay. Each was ruled by a governor. The supreme head of the administration was the Governor General. Warren Hastings, the first Governor General, introduced several administrative reforms, notably in the sphere of justice.